Well, hello guys, I'm the Custard Prophet and welcome to this video. If you've been unless you've been living under a bush for the last 24 hours, you will have realised that there has been announcements for FM20, lots and lots of fun announcements. And furthermore, if you still have been living under a bush, you may not have realised there's been a mixed reaction, I think it's fair to say, on Twitter. Some people saying that actually this game is no different from the previous one, just slightly repackaged, and others saying actually this is rather good. I guess the one argument there is that actually FM say they only do major changes every 2 years, and they made a major change last year with this current game, FM19, so it's probably not going to be a major change until FM21. We saw the change in match engine for FM19, so yeah, we didn't see a new match engine this time round. We didn't see a massive change in tactical overhaul. You don't need to. The tactics screen is brilliant. We didn't see any change to training. Goalkeepers, no announcement on goalkeepers, but we have been told 5 interesting things. The headline changes, and let's go through that now. My thoughts on it all, I'm actually quite positive about it. I really think this could, like the dude's rug in The Big Lebowski, tie the game together. By that I mean that it will make it more immersive, more realistic experience, which is that bit closer to the reality of managing a football team. Not that any of us would actually know. So let's have a look at these 5 developments, these 5 features. So the big one, the big kahuna as it were, is the development centre. Now this is really interesting. So as you can see, they have brought all the aspects of developing youth players into one place. The development centre, they're calling it. What's really nice, as you can see here, you get a really good overview of how your young players are doing. So you get these nice little graphs highlighting how they're doing over time, how they're progressing. If they're out on loan, you get information about how they're doing out in their loan clubs, whether they're playing games, whether they're not getting the game time that was promised to them, how they're progressing training wise, whether they look like they're going to be a player that can progress. I also noted that you get information about the youth intake before the youth intake actually happens, so you can kind of prepare for that. I think this is an absolute game changer for those guys who really enjoy the aspect of developing youth team players like I do. Then this is an absolute fantastic feature, and I'm super looking forward to what this could mean. Let's just have a little bit look further down. Again, we see these progress bars, information on, these are the guys out on loan, how they're doing, sort of gameplay, all that sort of bits and pieces. You can terminate them from there. You've got all your youth team staff in this bit as well. You get details on the potential stuff we know about, but then there's like a report as well on the youth team. These are the youth candidates that you're going to get through, which is quite nice. And then you've got all the rest of the stuff, but it's all in one place, which I think is really cool. Okay, so feature 2 is this club vision feature, and this allows you as a manager to tell the board what you think you're going to do within a period of time. This is really good because it allows you to get away from the rubbish sort of options you've got that in the previous sort of managerial interviews, and after that it allows you to really say, well, this is how I'm going to do it, and this is what we're going to do time on time. So you can kind of see the sort of things that you can you get information on here. So this is quite nice actually. So the sort of the culture is a lot of the things that we sort of see in those sort of drop down information screens when you're doing that sort of thing just after joining the club, but it looks more inclusive. So at the end of the current season, you've got to do these things. I don't know what happens if you don't manage to do these things, whether you get sacked or whatever else, but I think it's a nice feature. This is quite good actually. I noticed this one. So you get a grading on how you've how you've done, presumably. Whether you get this all the time, I don't know, but we will find out. But I think that's quite a nice idea, and it will certainly give it a little more clarity on exactly how you're doing and exactly what you're expected to do by the club. This one is very popular with a lot of people. So we have a graphics improvement, and this is really important. So the players all look like John Joe Shelby by the look of things, playing cricket, but they look better. A lot of people really excited about having regen faces that are more like real people rather than these kind of weird things that have come down from some planet where we have cloned people or something, and haircuts from the sort of 1970s. I mean, admittedly, with my hair, you probably think I was probably sitting next to them while they're getting their haircut, but it looks better. The people look better. Managers look better. There, I mean, he's got a tie pin. I mean, who wears a tie pin? Probably everyone. But the stadiums are going to look better as well. I think that's really important. So that looks quite nice. I mean, hopefully we get away from the sort of the beach ball and the burger van and the sort of giant TV screen that appeared in every ground, whether you're non-league or whatever else. And hopefully when your ground is being upgraded, it looks a bit better. That was always kind of a weird looking thing. But I think that's going to be a big improvement. I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like. Then we got a couple of other things. So Backroom staff. So this gives your Backroom staff a little bit more to do, I suppose. It gives them a bit more influence on how they can help you. You get a little bit more information from them. The problem I always find with this, and it looks kind of cool what they're trying to do here, is that the current AI, the Backroom staff, is horrific. You do a team talk and they get it wrong every time. The scouts are awful, irrespective of how good they are. It's just, a bunch of crap after a bunch of crap. So as long as the AI is good for this, I think it will be really good. So I'm going to leave this as I don't really know. I'm going to have to wait and see whether I like this or not. But theoretically, it looks good. As you can see, all the tactics things, it looks very, very similar to previously. And I'm really glad they haven't messed around with that. And finally, this playing time pathway, which allows you to be a much more... So this relates to when you're negotiating contracts and things like that, and allows you to have a little bit more flexibility when you're explaining how a player is going to sort of progress into being a first team player. So I think it fits in with some of the youth things, the player development pathways, but also when you're signing people. I'm signing you as a youngster. We're going to do this, this, and this. In 2 seasons, you are going to be a first team player. So I think that's kind of nice, and it means they are absolutely sure of what they are, and I guess it will make contracts easier to handle, all those sort of things. So I think overall, if you are a Football Manager fan, you're probably going to like this, because it is going to make it a more rounded game. I think it's going to make it more believable and a better game overall. I really think that. It's not a massive change, but it's bringing some new features in. It's taking features that were already there and kind of bringing them together and in a more sort of usable way. And I think it's going to feel much more like you are a manager of a football club. You've got a team around you, and you're trying to get the best out of your team, and less like, spreadsheet manager, as some people kind of see this. I think it's taking it that bit further on. This isn't the only features that we're going to see. There's going to be more sort of smaller features that will be announced. Hopefully goalkeepers is in that, and hopefully there's a bunch of other things. I like Loki's idea of sort of collisions and actual collisions in game. It's probably not going to happen because that relates to the match engine, and they're not changing the match engine, are they? But there'll be a bunch of other things that will be really nice to include. Let me know your thoughts on this. What else would you like to see? What's your favourite bit of all this? What bit do you not really care about? Let me know down in the comments. And come and check out some of my Football Manager's 2019 stuff and get ready for 2020. Beta save with Everton and a Scandinavian journeyman is what I'm doing. So make sure you're around for that. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Thank you very much for coming along. See you later. Bye-bye.